the draft in this segment, most important matchups for Week 3. Chris, you've got the trivia question. Fire away.
All right, here we go. On Sunday, the Watt brothers, JJ, TJ, and Derek, will become the second trio of brothers to play in the same game. The Edmonds brothers did that last year, if you remember. Okay, JJ and TJ both had exactly 11.5 sacks at Wisconsin. Who had more sacks their rookie year in the NFL, TJ or JJ?
This is a setup because you're going to expect me to say JJ since he was drafted at a higher level. He came in with a greater pedigree. He's got 3 Defensive Player of the Year awards. My guess is it's going to be TJ. Is it TJ?
I believe it is, yes. TJ had 7, JJ had 5.5. And don't attack me like I came up with these questions like I'm trying to Jedi mind trick you. I got no control of this.
I'm not making any accusations.
I'm
trying to, the very simple binary choice. It's kind of nice to have a flip of the coin, multiple choice with only 2 choices. That's better than having a blank slate where you have to come up with a name that you may not have remembered or even ever heard of.
Right.
All right, let's get started with this one. Plenty of great matchups this weekend. And
what are you looking at your phone? Did you write them in your phone?
I have notes. I have notes. Okay. That's where I emailed them to myself. What do you think? I don't have any preparation here. I am going with Aaron Donald against Josh Allen because for as spectacular as Josh Allen has been this year, he has not had to face anyone remotely close to Aaron Donald in overall capability. What happens to Josh Allen when Aaron Donald blows a hole through the hull that is the Buffalo offensive line and just F's up the play? Can Josh Allen pivot to something else? Will he take the bait and run right at Aaron Donald to try to prove dominance like he seems to do over any defensive player that gets in his path? So that's going to be a fascinating matchup. A couple of 2-0 teams, one of the emerging quarterbacks against one of the best defensive linemen of all time. That's what I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, that'll be a good one, certainly. And again, with Josh Allen, he's not perfect yet. We've seen growth in all areas, but we still see, even last week, 1 or 2 plays where I just go, man, don't do that. Stop it. Last week he had an unreal play of running over a linebacker and then running over a defensive lineman and then still going. Like literally ran them over like he was Jim Brown. And then he fumbled the football, and they were lucky to recover it. But it's just things like that where you go, it ain't worth it. It's not worth it, and I hope he is careful there. All right. I think I'm going to the Monday night game. I think the matchup I'm looking at really is Tyreek versus one of those corners. Who that going to be? I don't know if it'll be Humphrey or Marcus Peters, but one or the other is going to be matched up on him, and I would bet it's more Humphrey. I think Humphrey is a little bit better of a true shutdown man-to-man type corner. Marcus Peters, awesome, but also awesome at zone and things like that. And I just think that is going to be one of the keys to the football game. Because Baltimore, it's not in their DNA to sit back and play soft zone defenses. They're going to take their chances and try to force the hand of the game a little bit and force the game the way they want it to. And on those plays, whoever wins that matchup, I think, can go a long way to dictating who wins the football game. Baltimore blitzes 3 or 4 times in the first half, and on those 3 or 4 times, Tyreek Hill gets 3 or 4 catches for, 80 or 90 yards, and Baltimore's in trouble. They're not going to win the football game. But if Humphrey can just make it 1 catch or something like that, then you start to go, uh-oh, watch out. He's got a feel for the routes Tyreek wants to run, and they're on top of him. So that's a matchup I look at to be very influential in the game.
Yeah, absolutely. And how you handle Tyreek Hill goes a long way toward whether and to what extent you can handle the Kansas City offense. I am going to a game that I think is going to be critical in showing which of the 2 teams is going to be able to contend this year, which one's ready to step up onto the national stage. And I'm going the Washington football team pass rush against Baker Mayfield because Mayfield last week when he didn't face much pressure up front, spectacular. Week 1, when the Ravens were coming after him, the exact opposite of spectacular. And this is a parallel for me because last week I think one of my picks was the Washington football team front 7 against Kyler Murray, and didn't work out so well because he's Kyler Murray. What can Baker Mayfield do against that kind of heat? Can he get rid of the ball quickly? Can he make decisions quickly? Can he process information quickly when he's got Chase Young and company coming after him? That's going to go a long way toward determining whether or not the Browns can parlay Thursday night's win into a victory on Sunday.
Yeah, and hopefully they don't put him in those situations over, too much. Because as you talked about all before last week's game and even the week before that, I mean, the best weapon they got is Nick Chubb in that run game. So run the damn ball. Washington hasn't had to play an offense in the first 2 games that can run the ball like Cleveland can. And that'll be interesting. And, I think that could slow down that front four too. But you're right, that Washington front four, they can cause 2 or 3 mistakes from a quarterback who can, it can end up costing you the football game. I'm going to go to Dallas and Seattle because I can't wait to see Zeke versus Jamal. That's where I'm pumped to see. They're going to have some showdowns. They will. There's no doubt. Jamal Adams, I think, is blitzing more than any person I see in football right now. I mean, they're bringing him. So a lot of the times, the running back in pass protection is assigned to that DB or somebody that might blitz like that. And those are 2 guys that don't know what it means to step out of the way or don't take it. I mean, they bring it, both of them. So I'm excited to see that. And then, of course, we're going to see some showdowns in the run game, too. I mean, Zeke Elliott backs down from nobody. He's going to bring it. First time I ever knew about him was him in that preseason game where Tony Romo hurt his back. He was running over Cam Chancellor, and I was like, wait, nobody does that to Cam Chancellor. So I'm very excited to see those 2 stubborn, tough football players go at it.
Could go a long way toward determining who wins the game, too, because if you shut down Ezekiel Elliott, you make the Cowboys one-dimensional.
Yeah.
Maybe that plays. Well, still, that Seahawks defense isn't what it was.
I know, yeah, it's not the same. We'll see.
But at least Jamal Adams will be playing the pass as well.
Right.
All right, this one for me, and can we stipulate that Tom Brady, now playing for the Buccaneers, it's likely he's not going to play for any other team ever. This is it for him, right? It's the Buccaneers until he's done.
I would hope so, yes.
Okay. If that's the case, then this will be Tom Brady's last trip ever to Denver. Tom Brady versus Denver is the matchup I'm interested in because in 17 prior visits to Denver, he is 8-9. This is his chance to finish his career at a mere 500 in Denver. The greatest quarterback of all time is below 500 when playing in Denver. The good news, no Von Miller, no Drew Lock, no Cortland Sutton, and I'd like to think Tom Brady versus Jeff Driscoll advantage Tom Brady, but whatever it is, it's got to be something, right? It's got to be, Chris.
Yeah.
This is his chance to get to 500, and even then, it's going to be weird to think 9-9 in 18 career games against Denver in Denver.
Yeah, no, you're right. But, through his 20-year career, Denver had a few stints of being a really damn good football team. And a team that, had a defense there for a period of time that was like, okay, we're not scared of you, Tom Brady. And then, of course, the Peyton Manning thing and all of that and their ability. So, all right, last pick for me. I want to do the mix versus the mix, McVay versus McDermott, but you already visited that game, and I'm very interested about it. I won't do that. I'll tell you another one I'm really interested in. The Pats front 7 versus the Raiders O-line. The Raiders O-line is an immovable force. The way they moved the Saints last week, Josh Jacobs, if I have a concern about the Patriots team, the only one is right now their front 7. They lack big people. There's no Dante Hightower. They lack speed at linebacker, things like that. I could see a way where the Raiders just control the game with their run game and make this game very, very close. So I want to see how that shakes out. I'm picking the Patriots, but I think that could be an interesting part to watch for.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.